And so, yo. Yo! Hi everyone, it's Kiyoshi, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content like this. So we're back with another episode of, I almost said Not So Berry. It's growing Up Genki. But we are picking back up where we left off from the cliffhanger of last episode, where Hana will be going into her very first date with Kiyoshi. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right back in. So Hana made it to Windenburg Park, and she is looking still so cute. I love this outfit on her. But she's looking for her date, which is a one Kiyoshi Ito, who is right here. So I know we're not supposed to like Kiyoshi considering the circumstances of everything, but he is looking kind of fine standing right there. Like, wow. he's looking very cute. And Hana is, she hasn't seen him yet, but as soon as her eyes fix, she's like, is that Kiyoshi? She's like, he's actually looking kind of good today. So she's like, hi Kiyoshi, you look good today. And he's like, so do you. she's giving him quite the hug. We love to see it. But he's all like, yeah, thanks for meeting me here. I see that you are full of energy as always. And Hana's like, you know me, I'm always one for a good workout, and so I'm just showing off, really. And he's like, you're funny, you're always making the cutest jokes, Hana. And she's like, I guess. And so she's like, so what's the plan for today? And he's like, well, I figured we'd have a bit of lunch over in the square where the cherry blossom trees are. Does that sound good to you? And he's like, I hope it's not that big, too big of an imposition. You dress so nicely. I don't want you to, get anything dirty from sitting on the ground. She's like, I'm not a precious flower, despite my name. I can stand a little bit of dirt and I don't mind sitting on the ground. He's like, well, as long as it's okay with you, then yeah, I did prepare us a picnic today. So I am sorry about that, you guys. Like, I ran into a little technical issue as far as this date, and I should have planned this out a bit better before they got to the park. Long story short, Kiyoshi was actually supposed to be at work today instead of at the park, and I couldn't get him to not be showing up as not at the park until his shift was over, which was at 3. So we kind of lost 2 hours here, but we're gonna try and still have this we're still gonna try to have this work and have her go out on her date with Bray later. But isn't this cute? So Kiyoshi put together this picnic for them, and look, there's a picnic basket, a blanket. He made them some bentos. Oh, this is so cute. But he's like, I thought this, don't mind him being on the phone, just ignore that. But he's all like, I wanted to do something nice for you. I know that you're not the type of girl who likes to go to fancy restaurants. In fact, my mom actually suggested that we go to a fancy restaurant, but it was actually Nana-chan. That's what he calls Nana-me. It was actually Nana-chan who recommended I make us a nice picnic. He said that you'd probably appreciate that more. And she's like, yeah, actually Nana-chan's right. I would prefer something like this over a fancy restaurant. So I do appreciate that. This is so cute. Look at them. So that's the bento that Kiyoshi made for Hana. Look at that. It's called the Rikuman bento, and it was made by Oni. He makes Japanese-inspired custom food. So good. If you guys haven't gotten any custom food from Oni, it's so good. But anyway, Hana's enjoying the bento. She's like, this is actually really good, Kiyoshi. And he's all like, thank you. I got up pretty early trying to make it. I'm not really much of a cook, but I was hoping you'd appreciate it. And she's like, it's really good. And he's like, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I actually was really excited to go out on this date with you. He's like, I was actually so nervous I called your dad just to get his advice on things. She's like, you called my dad? He's like, yeah, we actually talk a lot because I really want us to be close and get to know you better, and I figured your dad would be the best one to talk to because he knows you best. And she's like, yeah, me and my dad are close. I didn't know you guys talked like that. He's like, I was serious with the last time we had our chat at that bakery about wanting to make you fall for me. And so I figured if I talked to your dad, that would be the best thing. So Hana's like, I really appreciate that you've been talking to him, but Kiyoshi, talking to my dad's not really the best way to really know me. It's just a way to find out stuff that my dad knows about me. He's like, I know, but I just feel like through talking with your dad, I've gotten to know you a bit more in a way that's not as nerve-wracking. He told me about how you like to do outdoor activities, and so I feel like you and I have so much in common. And so, yo, are you seeing this? Oh my god. What? Okay, so this is off script here. Okay, so I'm gonna roll with it. And so, if you haven't already figured out, one Zachary Chestnut has crashed Hana and Kiyoshi's date. And it seems as though, they are in Windenburg Park, and Zachary stays at his parents' house over the weekend in Windenburg. So it's not completely unheard of that Zachary would be around. But I just didn't expect this. So Zachary, kind of is horned in on his date, and he's all like, Hana, I thought that was you. I decided to come to the park to get some fresh air, and I saw you here with, it's Kiyoshi, right? And Kiyoshi looks none too pleased. He's like, what is this guy doing here? We're supposed to be having a date, and he walked right between us, and now he's, addressing Hana. He's not even looking at me. He's got his back to me. How rude can you be? And this is a date. So Kiyoshi's all like, we're just gonna have to play this out. Zachary does look super bummed, and it's not really unheard of that he would be, because as you guys remember from the end of last episode, Zachary had every intention of asking Hana out before Bray got the jump on him, but it just seems like he's been sulking a bit since he kind of lost out to his stepbrother on asking Hana out. So seeing her out with Kiyoshi, it kind of triggered him a little bit, because he's all like, well, she's supposed to be going out on a date with my brother later, and it looks like she's out on a date with this guy. But the last time I was at her house, it didn't seem like there was anything romantic going on between them, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe there is something romantic going on here. So So Kiyoshi's like, do you mind here? We're kind of in the middle of a date. He's still trying to talk to Hana, so he hasn't really gotten to the insulting parts of this yet, because but he's like, do you mind? We're in the middle of something. And Hana is trying to pay attention to her food because she's hungry, but she's all like, I really should probably step in here, because if I don't, Kiyoshi's gonna do something dumb, tell him that we're on a date and we're engaged, and I can't let him do that. So Hana's gonna really quickly come in here and intercept. But yeah, Kiyoshi definitely wants Zachary to leave, but Hana's like, Zachary, and I guess Kiyoshi's giving them a minute, which is perfect. So Hana's like, Zachary, it's nice to see you, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. And Zachary's like, I can see that, which is leading me to ask you, are you on a date or something? I thought you were going out on a date with my brother later. And she's like, I am. This is not a date. I live with Kiyoshi and his family, right? And he's like, yeah, of course I know that. But, this kind of looks a little bit cozier than something that you're just, going out with a housemate, or am I reading this wrong? And Hana's like, Zachary, I don't even know what you're getting at, but Kiyoshi's just a friend of mine. I live with his family, he, made us a picnic lunch because it's nice out, and his family is actually staying at the Windenburg Hotel. So just to give you guys some context for the Windenburg Hotel, for why she's going to try and make this seem like not what it looks like, the Windenburg Hotel relative to this park is right over here. So as you can see, the Windenburg Hotel is literally a walk away. It's right there. So when she says, his family and him are staying at the Windenburg Hotel and we're just having like a quick picnic lunch together just as friends, what she's really saying is, we're at this hotel. We don't want that stuffy hotel food because, nobody likes stuffy hotel food. And we decided to just get out of the hotel and have some food. It's nothing weird, especially since we're staying so close by. Because saying it that way is going to be less weird than, they live in Mount Komorebi. So it would be, weirder for her to kind of like say, we came all the way out here from Mount Komorebi and are having this picnic lunch. That sounds way more intimate, right? So she's like, no, the family house is being renovated. The family's staying at the Windenburg Hotel over there. And Kiyoshi made some lunch and we decided to eat it out here instead of in the hotel. Like, that's all that's going on. We were just talking about regular stuff. It's not a date. And Zachary's like, oh, I mean, I didn't mean to be, a pain or anything. It looked a bit intimate and I was confused. And she's like, Zachary, like, it's not like that. And even if it was, at this point, it's none of your business, really. And Zachary at that he kind of smarted a bit at her saying that to him, because Zachary, he has a crush on her and he feels like he's already lost out to Bray. And I think, like, from his perspective, he was just thinking, like, now she, like, really hates me because not only does she think I'm lamer than my brother, now she thinks I'm lamer than her, like, housemate who's, like, super cool and, like, an international, like, famous snowboarder, and I'm just, like, regular old dorky old nerdy old Zachary who she thinks is just, like, horning in on her like, friend date. And Hana's kind of like really patting herself on the back. She's like, smooth move there, Hitoshi. smooth move there, Hana Hitoshi. You figured that whole thing out. He doesn't know what's going on. We're good here. But, Zachary, this is just kind of like another blow to Zachary because, he really likes her and he just thinks that she's got all these other prospects that seem like better aims than him. And he's like, I apologize for, getting in the way. I didn't mean to. I just figured I would stop and say hi. She's like, no, it's not a big deal. I just, wanted to make that clear that this isn't a date. I am going out with your brother later and it'll be fine. In fact, if you're heading back to your house, you can go ahead and let Bray know that I'll probably be by the theater in like an hour. Who are you?
Bruh.
Okay, who is this random person? Okay, well, Mahana, like, is like, I'm gonna go ahead and check in with Kiyoshi, but yeah, it was nice seeing you, Zachary. I'm gonna get back to things. And she felt a bit weird seeing him. She's like, it's weird that, Zachary showed up at my date. She was thinking about him just a little bit during the date, because, she's still confused about how she kind of read the situation wrong, or at least she thought she read the situation wrong, because she's like, I really thought that Zachary liked me, and instead he sets me up with his brother. And I thought maybe I might have had feelings for him, but how can I really have feelings for somebody who doesn't have feelings for me? And now he's just showing up during my date. It's really confusing for me. But she's like, I'm just gonna, head over to Kiyoshi. We're done with lunch. I'm, gonna be late to this date with Bray if I don't head out soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and just ask Kiyoshi. If it's okay for us to cut our date here. I know there was a whole lot more he wanted to talk about, but maybe we could kind of do that later. I mean, Nanami kind of did rope us into like a whole series of dates now, so we've got plenty of time to, I guess, talk if he wants to actually learn more about me instead of asking my dad about me, which is kind of weird. So it looks like Kiyoshi came up into this little playhouse to kind of cool off after he got mad at Zachary for kind of horning in on our date. So Hana came up and she's like, yeah, Kiyoshi, I just wanted to come in and just check in and see if you're okay. But I actually have to go. I promised some friends I would hang out with them later, and it's getting a little bit late in the day. And Kiyoshi's like, no, it's okay. I'm just glad that we got to spend a little bit time today. But I do wish we had more time to spend together. And she's like, well, oh, and he got her a gift. She's like, before he got the gift out, we'll have other times to spend together with all these dates that your mom's saying we should go on. He's like, yeah, well, before you go, though, I did want to give you something to commemorate this date today. And she's like, oh, I mean, you didn't have to. And he's like, no, it's really important that I give this specific thing to you. So he's given her the box, and she's like, oh, well, let me go ahead and see what's inside it. And she's like really shocked because what she finds inside the box is, and you can't really see it because, the animations in the Sims are like limited, but what Kiyoshi gave Hana was a little ring, a box, and when Hana opened up the box, she found an engagement ring. And she's like, is this what I think this is? And he's like, well, you and I have been engaged for quite a bit now, and I haven't officially really given you the symbol of our engagement. And I think, it's important that I do that sooner rather than later, especially seeing as how long we've been engaged for. And, the wedding could be any day now, really. Things are coming to a close. You will only be in high school for so much longer, and my parents have it planned that they want us to get married as soon as you're done with, high school. And so I wanted you to have that, and I just wanted to reaffirm to you how much, I do want to make you fall for me because, I've fallen for you. And she's like, oh, you have? And he's like, I mean, you're kind of easy to fall for, but, I'm going to let you go on your date, and I'm going to go ahead and head back to the hotel, but I'll be thinking about you. So Hana doesn't know how to feel. She has a little bit of flutteries in her stomach, which she hasn't really ever felt that way about Kiyoshi before. She's always had the circumstances by which the engagement has happened has always been a sour note for her. It's always made this whole thing feel off for her. So she's like, and she's a little bit flushed by this. She's like, he just gave me an engagement ring. He said that he's fallen for me. Like, what am I supposed to think about that? I have all these people who are apparently interested in me now. Bray's interested in me. Kiyoshi's fallen for me. But in the back of her mind, she just keeps on going back to Zachary, how he just showed up on this date to right now. And she's like, but I need to stop thinking about him because he doesn't think of me that way. So maybe I really need to just start facing the music and accepting this engagement. Or even if maybe this date with Bray, maybe that will be something that leads to something. But it's just gonna be painful if I put time and energy thinking of somebody who doesn't think of me. So we're gonna actually leave things off here. And this was date 1, you guys. This is date 1. But in the next episode, we'll go to date 2, which will be with Bray. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Did this date at all change anybody's mind on Kiyoshi? I know everybody's kind of put off by Kiyoshi just because of the circumstances of the arranged marriage, which I get it. But Kiyoshi's kind of cute. He is. And he's being a little bit sweet here, trying to get to know Hana and trying to make this engagement right. So, is that changing anybody's minds? Are you guys still not Team Kiyoshi? Are you guys still Team Hana not getting with Kiyoshi? And what about Zachary? Do you think him coming to this, showing up on this date was a sign? How many of y'all are Team Zachary right now, or wanting to see what's going to come up of that? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye!